distinguished guests, and respected members of the bar. A very good evening to one and all. It's the time to welcome. I request our President, Senior Advocate Mr. Isaac Mohanlal, President MMBA, to deliver the welcome address and to introduce about the Law Day.
Good evening to all of you. I'm extremely happy to stand before you to welcome all of you here at this pleasant evening. Honorable Mr. Justice M.S. Ramesh, the Administrative Justice, Honorable Mr. Justice M. Nirmal Kumar, Honorable Mr. Justice Kumaresh Babu, Honorable Mr. Justice Sandil Kumar, Honorable Mrs. Justice Purnima, Mrs. Justice A.D. Maria Cleet, and Honorable Mr. Justice Anand Venkatesh, Presidents of the various bar associations, Mr. Suresh Anandavalli, the Vice President of MAHAA and the Deputy Solicitor General, Mr. Govindarajan, the Additional Advocate General, Mr. Kadiravan, the past presidents of this association, and gentlemen secretaries of the various associations, and Krishnaveni, the Women's Lawyers Association, senior advocates, and beloved members of the bar. It is a momentous occasion that we gather here to celebrate and commemorate the 75th Constitution Day. It is a matter of great pride and honor, more so because a nation which was never believed to exist even for one single year has successfully crossed 75 long years, and we are here to celebrate that anniversary. All of you might have read at the time when we got independence, it was a matter of great amazement to the entire world with the people of such diverse cultures, language, religion, creed, and so on and so forth, took the historic decision to live together as a single nation, that too, democracy as the rule of governance, and the single constitution that is going to govern us. It was a matter of great surprise for everyone. Even the very existence of the nation was considered as a great puzzle, in the exact words of the political scientist, one Mr. Robert Dale. Very existence was a matter of puzzle, and that too, democracy, what they said was, India is trying to do a magic with the democracy. That is the view of another political scientist. Nobody would believe that India would ever survive even for one single year. But we all survived for years together. And with all this diversity, we have been living together under the single constitution. The entire credit goes to one single document, that is the Constitution of India. We as lawyers, we have a particular or a specialized role in the, not only in the formation of the Constitution, but before the Constitution, the freedom struggle, all of you know, 5 eminent men, 5 lawyers, actually played a very great role in the entire freedom struggle. Granville Austin, most of you would have read, in his famous book, The Constitution of India, the Cornerstone of the Nation, he goes on record saying, 5 people, Gandhi, Nehru, Patel, Azad and Prasad, Mohandas Gandhi, the Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister, then Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad, and Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. These were the 5 people upon whom, Granville Austin says, the people reposed the entire trust, not a mere confidence, entire trust. He concludes saying, why? Because these 5 men were incapable of doing any harm to the people of India. What is significant is, of these 5 people, 4 were lawyers, except Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad. Remaining 4 were lawyers. Then what happened after the freedom? Because India was not born in a very peaceful atmosphere. At the time when India was getting independence at the midnight, when Mountbatten was handing over the documents of freedom to Jawaharlal Nehru, even our own father of nation, Gandhi was not able to attend that function. He was in Bengal trying to make peace between the raging groups, the mob attacks between the Muslims and the Hindus. He could not even physically be present here. Again, at the time when the constitution was framed, it was again not a peaceful situation. But people say, historians go on record saying, the calmness and the tranquility with which these men, 272 members of the Constituent Assembly, deliberated the matter over a long period of almost 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Deliberated and they gave out the constitution. But the situation, the deliberations were so calm inside, but the situation was totally otherwise outside. Granville Austin again says, it was an irony of in history that fundamental rights were to be framed inside amidst the carnage of fundamental wrongs outside. That was the situation. Corpses everywhere, in all drains, mutilated bodies. And the whole of Delhi and the rest of the country was in curfew for almost more than a month at the time when the Constituent Assembly was considering the framing of the fundamental rights. Nevertheless, the byproduct was an extremely great one. That is the lengthiest constitution in the world. Again, if you look at the framing of the constitution, our contemporary, that is a modern historian, Ramachandra Guha says, 20 people took the lead, 20 plus 1. One is B.N. Rao, who was not a member of the Constituent Assembly, but a constitutional expert who had studied various constitutions across the world. 20 plus 1, 21. Of these 21, 13 happened to be lawyers. Therefore, not only the freedom movement, freedom struggle was led by lawyers, but the constitution itself was framed by lawyers, eminent lawyers from the length and breadth of this country. Therefore, a greater obligation always lies with the lawyers, the judges. At the end, on one occasion when Dr. Ambedkar, who chaired the drafting committee, was asked, you have given to us the lengthiest constitution in the world. Can you point out one single article which is the most important of all? Pat came the reply, it is Article 32. Thereby, I would say, the constitution itself was handed down in the hands of the lawyers and the judges. Article 32, all of you know, it is the fundamental right of the citizens to move the Supreme Court for the enforcement of any of the rights in Part 3. Thereby, and history has now shown to us, it is the courts that uphold the constitution. At times of political upheaval, bureaucratic atrocities, it is the courts which always maintain and hold the constitution and the nation together because of that. A great responsibility always lies in the shoulders of the lawyers and the judges. And we are now the custodians of the constitution. Some of the legal jurists now say, if the Indian constitution fails, it is not because of its failure, it is because of the lawyer's failure. Therefore, a great duty, obligation is on our shoulders to maintain and protect the constitution. And one thing that is baffling in the minds of the present day lawyers as well as the politicians is that some attempts are being made to affect the unity which we found in the diversity. That is very, very important. That's a very current topic also. Even you would have read a couple of days ago, 2 articles published by His Lordship Justice Anand Venkatesh, emphasizing the need for unity in diversity. India has been a welcoming nation for all these kinds of people from abroad, from countries afar. S.R. Das, the Chief Justice in 1958 in the Supreme Court, beautifully describes it. Almost it is a poetic when he says that throughout the ages of endless inundation of men, of diverse creeds, cultures and races, came to this ancient land from regions distant and different climes. India welcomed them all. They met, they gathered. Aryans and non-Aryans, Dravidians, Chinese, Scythians, Huns and Pathans and Muslims, Zoroastrians and Christians, all of them got mingled, merged and dissolved into one being that is called India. This Indian ethos has been epitomized when Rabindranath Tagore beautifully said, none shall be turned away from the shores of this vast sea of humanity that is India. Therefore, the beauty of India is its diversity. We have learned to live, how to live with the plurality of the cultures, with the different varieties of religions, languages. We have lived so far together because of the Constitution. It is good that we commemorate all these anniversaries of the Constitution, and we have to take the pledge today. We have requested Honorable Mr. Justice Nirmal Kumar to administer the oath after His Lordship Justice M.S. Ramesh delivers the Law Day address. And we hope that India would live forever, for long as we maintain the unity in diversity. Any garden with a single flower will never make a good garden. Any garden that has got multiple flowers will always stand as a beautiful garden. Now today, the people who suspected its existence for one single year are putting their fingers on their noses to see India has been setting the role model for the whole world how a democracy should function. That is the pride and honor of us. And with these few words, I request Honorable Mr. Justice M.S. Ramesh to deliver the Law Day address, as well as Honorable Mr. Justice Nirmal Kumar to administer the oath. And I welcome all of you to this great day, the 75th Constitution Day of India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's the time to honor our guests. I request Mr. M.K. Suresh, President MBA, to honor our Administrative Judge, Justice M.S. Ramesh. I request Mr. M. Saravana Kumar, the Secretary MMBA, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice N. Nirmal Kumar. I request Mr. K. Govindarajan, Deputy Solicitor General, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice N. Anand Venkatesh. I request Madam Krishnaveni, the Secretary, Women Lawyer Association, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice K. Kumresh Babu. I request Vice President MMBA, Mr. T. C.B. Chakravarti, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice N. Sendil Kumarji. I request Mr. N. Shekhar, Convener MMBA, to honor Honorable Mrs. Justice R. Purnima. I request Mr. Prithvi Raj, our EC member, to honor Justice Maria Cleet. Thank you.
Now, we invite His Lordship, Honorable Justice M.S. Ramesh, the Administrative Justice of the Madurai Bench of the Madras High Court, to unveil the portrait of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the Chairman of the Drafting Committee of the Indian Constitution.
Thank you, my lords. We request His Lordships also to deliver the Constitutional Day address.
Good evening to everyone. Mr. Isaac Mohanlal, President of the MMBA, Mr. M.K. Suresh, President MBA, Mr. V. Ramakrishnan, President of MAHAA, Mr. P. Andiraj, President of MBHAA, and Mrs. J. Anandavalli, President of the Women Advocates Association. My esteemed brothers, Justice Nirmal Kumar, Justice Anand Venkatesh, Justice Kumresh Babu, Justice Sendil Kumar, Justice Maria Cleet, and Justice Purnima, the Additional Advocate General, the Deputy Solicitor General, Senior Advocates, and my dear friends. There can never be a better day to unveil the portrait of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar than today. I, in this regard, would like to first thank the office bearers of the association at the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court for giving me this opportunity to not only unveil the portrait of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, but also to deliver the Law Day address. Today, as we gather to celebrate the Constitutional Day, we honor the legacy of the Indian Constitution, a living document that guarantees justice, equality, and liberty for all its citizens. The Indian Constitution, drafted under the leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, is considered to be one of the most detailed and comprehensive constitutions in the world, and also the lengthiest, as Mr. Isaac Mohanlal had remarked. Speaking on the significance of the Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had remarked, and I quote, "However good a constitution may be, it is sure to turn out bad because those who are called to work it happen to be a bad lot. However bad a constitution may be, it may turn out to be good if those who are called to work it happen to be a good lot." Likewise, while speaking on ensuring liberty and equality, he had quoted, "I want all people to be Indians first, Indians last, and nothing else but Indians. I am deeply concerned about the liberty of the individual. I am not prepared to sacrifice the liberty of the individual for the maintenance of the Constitution." As members of the legal community, we are aware of the prominence and brilliance of our Indian Constitution, which has a blend of influence of various sources adopted from different countries, which makes it unique, ensuring a balance between the flexibility and rigidity while accommodating India's diversity. To speak on even one chapter of the Constitution would be impossible given this short time. However, I would like to just touch upon a few salient features of our Constitution. What makes our Constitution so unique? The Indian Constitution is not just a set of rules. It is a living document. It evolves with time, ensuring that it remains relevant to the changing dynamics of the society. With its preamble, it declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic republic, committed to justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity for all its citizens. Our Constitution provides a delicate balance of powers among the legislature, executive, and judiciary, ensuring that no branches operates without accountability. It also enshrines fundamental rights that guarantee personal freedoms while imposing fundamental duties, reminding us that rights come with responsibilities. However, while celebrating our legal heritage, it is crucial to remain vigilant. Challenges such as delayed justice, corruption, and accessibility to legal remedies still persist. As citizens, there is responsibility to uphold the rule of law, respect the Constitution, and actively participate in the democratic process to ensure that justice is not just a promise, but a reality for every individual. The constitutional courts have been interpreting and expanding various features in our Constitution. One such interpretation, which is personally a reverence and which I hold in high regards, is the judicial innovation that emerged from the landmark judgment of the Supreme Court of India in the celebrated case of Kesavananda Bharati. As you all know, it is the basic structure doctrine which is an essential part of the balance in adapting to changing circumstances while preserving the core values that define our nation. The basic structure doctrine ensures that amendments to the Constitution are possible, but essentially sets a limit on the amended powers of the Parliament in ensuring that any amendment that damages or alters the core elements of the Constitution would be unconstitutional. In other words, it was a balancing act between the Parliament's sovereignty and preservation of fundamental values. The other components of the basic structure that were identified in that case included supremacy of the Constitution, role of law, separation of powers, judicial review, federalism, secularism, parliamentary system of governance, sovereignty, and integrity of India. Thereafter, the law marched ahead, bringing forth several other components to the basic structure to safeguard those components against arbitrary constitutional amendments that can undermine democracy and the Constitution's core values. Let us contribute our part in every possible way to protect the basic structure of our Constitution. While concluding, let us remember the sacrifices of those who fought for our independence and those who framed the Constitution to protect that freedom. On this Law Day, let us pledge to uphold the principles of justice, equality, and liberty as enshrined in our Constitution and work towards creating a more inclusive and equitable society. Long live India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my lords. We request His Lordship Justice M. Nirmal Kumar J. to administer the Law Day pledge, and I request every one of you to repeat as His Lordships would administer the pledge.
Good evening to all. Let us take the pledge. We hold that law is the common heritage and trust of mankind. That administration of justice is one of the most fundamental functions of the state. And that judges and lawyers owe their allegiance by the traditions, training, and tenets of their noble profession to the cause and quest of justice. We believe that the discipline of law is indispensably essential for the authoritative and peaceful resolution of all conflicts, for ensuring orderly development of society, for maintaining rule of law, for promoting social justice, for safeguarding liberty, and for protecting basic human rights and fundamental freedom. We affirm that the independence and impartiality of the judiciary and the freedom and independence of the legal profession constitute the sheet anchor of social order, individual freedom, and equal justice in our society. We acknowledge the social responsibilities and the professional obligation of law in public interest and public service. We emphasize in particular the need to ensure equal and universal access of the people to the system of justice, especially for the poor, the weak, the deprived, and the downtrodden. The need for literacy and legal aid, and need for social audit and evolution of laws, and for scientific, rational, and pragmatic law reform. We pledge and dedicate ourselves on this the Law Day to the premises and postulates of this proclamation.
Thank you, my lords.
Now we invite the President of Women Advocates Association, Advocate Ms. J. Anandavali, to deliver the felicitation address.
Good evening to all. Honorable Mr. Justice M.S. Ramesh, Administrative Judge, Honorable Mr. Justice M. Nirmal Kumar, Honorable Mr. Justice Kumaresh Babu, Honorable Mr. Justice Sendil Kumar, Honorable Mr. Justice Anand Venkatesh, Honorable Mrs. Justice Purnima, Honorable Mrs. Justice Maria Claret, Senior Advocates, Members of the Bar, young and energetic assisting advocates, wishing you all a purposeful Law Day. Honorable Mr. Advocate General Mr. Veera Kadravan, and Assistant Solicitor General Mr. Govindarajan. Good evening to both of you. On celebration of 75th Law Day, I am wishing all members of the bar a successful career in the profession. This day also has another significance so far as Madurai bench is concerned, as this being the first time all associations have joined together for the celebration of Law Day. For this to happen, it has taken 20 years. The 3 long years of deliberations in the Constitution Assembly demanded both craftsmanship and legal acumen in the matter of framing the fundamental law, and the Constitution fathers have exhibited great candor, wisdom, pragmatism and deep understanding of India's multifaceted problems in making the Constitution. Let us pay our homage on this day to the Constitution fathers, but for whose labor this great edifice would not have come into existence. Our Indian judiciary, while interpreting the thoughts of the Constitution fathers in their mind, and that is why till date judiciary is independent and the savior for the public litigants. However, in our rapidly evolving world, the legal profession faces unprecedented challenges. Technological advancements, globalization and societal shifts have reshaped the legal landscapes. The rise of artificial intelligence and automation has the potential to revolutionize legal practice, but it also raises concern about job displacement and the erosion of human judgment. Moreover, the increasing complexity of legal issues demands that lawyers possess a diverse skill set, including technical expertise, critical thinking, and effective communication. The ability to adapt to change and embrace innovation will be crucial for the future of the legal profession. Despite these challenges, the peculiarity of the legal profession is that what the lawyers do affects not only an individual but the administration of justice, which is the foundation of the civilized society. An advocate is an integral part of the administration of justice. He is an officer of the court and savior for the public. Now the day has come that professional ethics has become a subject to be taught in the college. More so, the system of senior-junior relation has become extinct in our profession. Because of this erosion, the sincerity and honesty has come down in our profession. It is unfortunate that I have to say this before this August gathering. At least in the near future, the tradition of the profession has to be brought in. I request all the senior members of the bar to act as a torchbearer to achieve this goal. As a president of WAA, I want to register that passing of 80% in the civil judges examination by women cannot be equalized with the fact that more women are there in advocacy. Likewise, in the speech of former Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, that there is no senior women advocates to be considered for elevation is the status of women in the profession after 75 years of framing of the Constitution. Though women are achieving in all fields, when compared to men, they have climbed only the first step. Whenever a new Chief Justice assumes office of Madras High Court, on their visit to Madurai bench, when they are informed or invited by 5 advocates associations, all their eyebrows are raised. Unity by all and for all has become a tough task even after 20 years of formation of Madurai bench. Let us all take an oath on this day and in this 20th year of celebration of formation of Madurai bench that equal respect to be given by both genders and dignity of this noble profession to be well maintained. Honorable Mr. Justice Anand Venkatesh, in his Lordship's article in the celebration of 75 years of the Constitution, has expressed his concern to improve in the backlog of judicial cases, reforms to enhance access to justice for all citizens, and for political accountability for transparency in the governance. We advocates have a greater responsibility to be played on the suggestions, and we are happy to say that the suggestions are from the bench. The day of achievement, I pray God, it should not be in the 100th Law Day celebration. As we celebrate Law Day, let us renew our commitment to the rule of law. Let us strive to be worthy of the noble profession we have chosen. Let us work tirelessly to create a society where justice prevails, where everyone is treated with dignity, and where the law is truly a shield for the oppressed and a sword for the truth. Thank you all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, madam. Now it's the time to cut the 75 years Constitutional Day cake. We invite our administrative judge, Honorable Mr. Justice M.S. Ramesh, to cut and offer the Constitutional Law Day cake to Honorable Mr. Justice M. Nirmal Kumar J. and others. Thank you.
Now, we invite the General Secretary of Madurai Bar Association, Advocate Mr. R. Venkatesan, to deliver the vote of thanks.
30 கோடி முகமுடையால் மெய்ப்புறம் ஒன்றுடையால் செப்பு மொழி 18 சிந்தனை ஒன்றுடையால் என்ற பரந்த இந்தியாவில் வேற்றுமையில் ஒற்றுமையும் இந்த அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டமானது ஆதாரமாகவும் ஆவணமாகவும் வாழும் வரலாறாக இருக்கின்ற இந்நிலையில் அதற்காக இன்று விழா எடுத்து மதுரை உயர்நீதிமன்ற கிளையில் அமைந்திருக்கின்ற 5 சங்கங்களும் இணைந்து அந்த உணர்வை இங்கே பகிர்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்ற நல் விழாவிற்கு எங்களுடைய அன்பான அழைப்பை ஏற்று இங்கே வருகின்றிருக்கின்ற மாண்புமிகு நிர்வாக நீதியரசர் திரு M.S. ரமேஷ் அவர்களுக்கு எங்களுடைய 5 சங்கங்களின் சார்பாக மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றோம். இந்த இனிய நாளில் பாபா சாஹிப் பீமாராவ் புரட்சியாளர் அம்பேத்கர் அவருடைய திருவுருவப் படத்தை திறந்து வைப்பது என்ற நோக்கம் எமது 5 சங்கத்திற்கு வந்திருப்பதற்கும் அதற்காக இன்று இணைந்து அந்த விழாவை இத்துடன் சேர்ந்து நடத்துவதற்கு உறுதுணையாக இருந்த MMBA தலைவர் திரு ஐசக் மோகன்லால் அவருக்கு இந்த நேரத்திலே நாங்கள் நன்றி சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கின்றோம். இந்த அருமையான விழாவில் இங்கே வந்து சிறப்பு செய்து கொண்டிருக்கின்ற கான்ஸ்டிடியூஷன் அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டத்தினுடைய உறுதிமொழியை ஏற்றுக்கொண்ட மாண்புமிகு நீதியரசர் திரு நிர்மல்குமார் அவர்களுக்கு எங்கள் 5 சங்கங்கள் சார்பாக மனமார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வதில் பெருமை அடைகிறோம். இங்கே பல்வேறு அலுவலர்களுக்கிடையே இங்கே வந்து சிறப்பு செய்து கொண்டிருக்கின்ற மாண்புமிகு நீதியரசர் திரு ஆனந்த் வெங்கடேஷ் அவர்கள், முறையே குமரேஷ் பாபு அவர்கள், திரு ஜஸ்டிஸ் நீதியரசர் செந்தில்குமார் அவர்கள், மாண்புமிகு நீதியரசர் மரியா கிளாட் அவர்கள், மாண்புமிகு நீதியரசர்கள் பூர்ணிமா அவர்களுக்கும் எங்களுடைய 5 சங்கங்கள் சார்பாக மிக நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வதில் மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறோம். ஒரே ஒரு விண்ணப்பம், இன்றைய தேதி அரசியலமைப்பு தினம் மற்றும் சட்ட நாள் என்று இந்தியா முழுவதும் கொண்டாடி கொண்டிருக்கின்ற நிலையில் எங்களுடைய MBA சங்கத்தின் ஃபவுண்டர் பிரசிடென்ட், நம்மளெல்லாம் பிதாமன் என்று அன்போடு அழைக்கும் வெள்ளச்சாமி அவர்களுடைய நினைவு நாள் என்று இந்த உயர்நீதிமன்றங்களை உருவாவதற்கு மிக முக்கிய பங்காற்றியவர் என்ற முறையில் இந்த சட்ட நாளிலே அவர் தன்னை மரணித்திருக்கிறார். இந்த மண்ணுலகை விட்டு விண்ணுலகை சென்ற நாள். இந்த நாளில் அவர் ஆத்மாவுக்கும் இந்த நேரத்திலே நன்றி சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறோம். அவருக்கும் நமது 5 சங்கங்கள் சார்பாக இந்த அவர் ஆத்மா சாந்தி அடைய நாம் பிரார்த்திக்கிறோம். கேட்டுக்கொண்டு விழாவிற்கு வந்திருந்த மூத்த இளைய மத்திய அரசு மாநில அரசு வழக்கறிஞர்கள், இங்கே வருகை தந்து சிறப்பித்திருந்த அனைவருக்கும் எமது சங்கத்தின் சார்பாக நன்றி கலந்த வணக்கத்தை உறுதியாக்கிக் கொள்கிறோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம், நன்றி.
Thank you. On this 75th National Constitution Day, we are grateful for the Constitution of the Republic of India.